This year, we experienced a major event in the history of the automobile, September 13. Ferrari presented a new model, and not just anyone. The Purosangue sport utility vehicle announced for months has finally been officially unveiled by the Maranello firm. The press has praised this new Ferrari model, as is often the case with the brand. However, the Purosangue's unveiling on YouTube has been met with criticism from the brand's longtime enthusiasts, as evidenced by the comments under the presentation videos. So, wasn't sport utility vehicle at Ferrari really a good idea? To understand Shane's success, we will briefly examine the factors behind the brand's achievements. This newcomer to the range is getting as many negative reviews from true Ferrari enthusiasts. Ferrari, the name of Enzo, an obsessive creator, whether you know him closely or from a distance. Enzo's sole passion was competition. He reluctantly sold cars to fund his racing appetite, as market demands necessitated it. Ferrari's image was long shaped by Enzo, an absolute enthusiast. He refuses to sign with the enemy and listen to his customers' opinions, and he has a very strong opinion on everything related to his cars. Those familiar with the brand's history immediately noticed that Enzo Ferrari would have never approved the Purosangue model. His purist spirit has long been at odds with the strategy of his own brand. He would certainly have accepted the SF90 and the famous LaFerrari because they are truly war machines. But we bet the 326 yards TB and its hybrid V6 electric engine wouldn't have hooked him. The idea of having a 2-ton sport utility vehicle in the range is unimaginable. While some may argue it was inevitable and aligns with the flow of history, Enzo would not have negotiated with history. If he didn't need money for his passion for the track, the stars of the time could have cried at his balcony day and night. To have the privilege of driving a Ferrari, he was indifferent. Obviously, he had to adapt and sell cars anyway because car racing is expensive. So Enzo, he gave in to the sirens of the market. But beware, he wasn't selling normal cars. They were developing exceptional cars using technologies developed for the circuit, which made them the best in the market beyond any competition. Ferrari's entire image is fueled by competition. Ferrari holds the records for the most F1 World Constructor titles, Grand Prix wins and pole positions. It's the red of passion and desire. These low cars have stunning curves and roaring engines that deliver maximum thrills to the driver, passenger and onlookers who see these powerful road sculptures. Even the prancing horse logo is a symbol of combat, chivalrous pride and ego. The Ferrari logo comes from the emblem Italian pilot Francesco Baracca, painted on his plane to be recognized by enemies. So Ferrari, it's all that, it's passion, it's being exceptional, being above the rest and beyond any comparison. However, the Purosangue introduces a new family member that doesn't quite align with this mindset. The Purosangue's presentation revealed a consistent design that aligns with Ferrari's recent design language. The front lights are in two parts, in the spirit of the SF90 or the SP3. It's a fashionable element in the industry right now, which allows to give a more sporty and less massive look to the front. The shield is also identifiable by the air intake, similar to the one on the Monza, and which carries the Cavallino in the middle. The rear lights are no longer round like in Pininfarina's heyday, but feature a refined design seen on the recent 296 GTV. Individually, each element is not shocking, but the overall size needs to be analyzed on the street. In the images released by Ferrari, the Italian brand, this sport utility vehicle, or Ferrari utility vehicle as they call it, appears to be a low-riding crossover rather than a traditional high-ground clearance sport utility vehicle. The Ferrari Purosangue, a more robust successor to the GTC4 Lusso, will be the sole family vehicle in Ferrari's lineup. From a design perspective, calling the Purosangue a failure would be an insult to the talented designers at Maranello. In fact, the problem lies elsewhere and it is much more difficult to accept. Indeed, the arrival of this new Purosangue marks the beginning of a new era. It's the first time that the brand with the prancing horse mixes with the people and comes onto the competition's turf. Porsche started with the Cayenne 20 years ago, but Porsche is not a competitor of Ferrari, even if the two houses are sometimes compared. In 2021, Porsche produced 300,000 cars, which is 30 times more than Ferrari's 8,500 units sold, making Ferrari much more exclusive. Bentley, a prestigious manufacturer, unveiled the Bentayga, a true showpiece for the brand. Rolls-Royce debuted the Cullinan, while Aston Martin introduced the DBX Lamborghini sales sword due to its Urus model, to such an extent that the Supersport utility vehicle alone represents more than 60% of the models sold by the brand. In 2021, we understand why the Maranello firm became interested in SUVs. However, seeing Ferrari take inspiration from its Italian counterpart, that's not natural. Lamborghini was founded by Ferruccio Lamborghini, a dissatisfied customer due to Enzo Ferrari's haughty and uncompromising attitude. So one could say that this strategic choice is surprising, because it brings the brand down from its pedestal. This places it in competition with houses that should not be its rivals, which tarnishes a bit of its eternal prestige. For an iconic brand like Ferrari, succumbing to easy profits and market demands risks normalizing its image by blending in with other manufacturers that follow market trends. The brand had always stayed outside of trends, but the sport utility vehicle trend proved too strong to resist. The Ferrari designers are skilled, but it's their design philosophy that truly stands out. A new vehicle that contradicts the brand's values will not be well received by the purists, regardless of its design. Ferrari has indeed tried to prove the legitimacy of the model with this name Puro Sangue, which means pure blood in Italian. Despite having a front central V12 like the Enzo, it is still considered heretical. In 2016, when asked about Ferrari making a sport utility vehicle, former boss Sergio Marchionne said, "You'll have to shoot me." The discourse has changed significantly in recent years. The famous V12 engine in this 4X4 model is likely included mainly to add a touch of nobility to the vehicle. But a hybrid V8 version is expected to arrive soon. That's actually what Bentley did with its Bentayga, which was first released with a 1.1.2 engine to make it more palatable, then in V8, then in diesel. Which luxury brand will compromise its values next to enter this highly profitable market? To get the answer, we need to analyze the automobile market, and we can bet that the next sport utility vehicle will come from McLaren. The British brand has repeatedly rejected adding a 4X4 to its lineup, but there are telling signs that suggest otherwise. The new boss, Michael Leaders, helped develop the Cayenne at Porsche before becoming the technical manager for the Puro Sangue at Ferrari. Before settling in England, I think we'll have the chance to discuss this further soon. I'm not implying anything, just stating my opinion. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel. It's very important for two reasons. The first is that if you are a real car enthusiast, it allows you not to miss the next videos of car design analysis that we publish on this channel. Secondly, it shows us that you value our work, which always makes us happy.